In today's video, as you see by the title, we're going to be rating everything about Portugal. First thing to rate, location. I'm going to give the location a 10. I was in Albufeira, Portugal. It is a tourist destination and it's amazing. Right there by the beach. Tourist area, like I said, so you run a lot of foreigners, a lot of people that speak English. I can't swim, but it's a lot of beaches, a lot of water out there, a lot of deep blue sea. A lot of time for people to tan, a lot of things to do in terms of tours, and you can see dolphins. It's a really nice place, and the weather is amazing. Food. I'm gonna give the Portuguese cuisine a 6. I think that the food that we had as a team from the location that we were eating at, the hotel that we used to get food from, was amazing. 10 out of 10. But in terms of like Portuguese food, I'm gonna just give it a 6. They eat a lot of meat. They don't use a lot of seasoning on their dishes. They definitely don't believe in sauce on pasta. We would get some pasta sometimes. I'm like, where the sauce? Like, we got ketchup. Ain't no way I'm finna put no ketchup on no pasta. You gotta be kidding me. That's a jail meal. I told my teammate, y'all are crazy for that. Like we got ketchup, mayo. That's not it. And I mean the food wasn't really bad or anything like the local dishes they have. Like I said, it's a lot of meat. They had some really good steaks for sure. But I wouldn't give it that high of a rating. And just in terms of the local food, I'll prefer food from other places that I've been, I say. Quality of life. Like I said about the location, it's an amazing place to live. Specifically, my city, Albufeira, amazing. Um, in my basketball situation, it was very good because we stayed in an apartment style hotel. So it's like this big 3-tower hotel where we got guys staying in 2 of the 3 towers. People from the other teams, the women's team, the youth teams. Like it was a good setup. It's very small. The city was very small, so I could like Uber to all the places I needed to. We had a van that we get around in as well. Coming from Luxembourg, though, I already knew this. It's not as good as Luxembourg in terms of quality of life. It's not as affluent as Luxembourg, so everything isn't squeaky clean like Lux, but it's definitely good quality of life. There was no violence that I saw, even though there was one incident I remember when I was out there. Somebody got stabbed, I think, at a club, but there was no violence, no thefts and robberies. I did hear the crime rate had some tick ups because of the immigrant population or something, but I don't know. It was good quality of life. I had a good life in Albufeira, Portugal. The people, the Portuguese people are very good people, are very humble people, very different than what I was used to the past 2 years in Luxembourg, coming from like the high society to the Portuguese society. Because funny enough, in Luxembourg, half of their population is like Portuguese, but they're like the working class. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before in the past. But Portugal has a very, very humble society. Good people that work hard. They're trying to do the best they can. They love socializing. They love you go to a dinner, you're gonna be talking forever. Like getting out of lunch, get out of dinner, it takes a while because they love talking, they love socializing and being amongst each other, having a good time. Fellowship is very key for Portuguese people, and I definitely enjoyed it. And I respect that. So I'm gonna give the people a 10. Very, very good people in Portugal. Very good. Now, on the flip side of that, it is not a very good place to date. The city specifically. I'm not talking about the whole country. I can only speak about my city because that's where I was living. It's not a good place for dating because it's a tourist city and people are always in and out. And there's like this bar culture where it can be messy and people know each other. And it's just not a really good dating scene, in my opinion. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the people are amazing. Portuguese people, amazing. Last thing to rate about living in Portugal is adaptability. How easy was it for me to adapt? Adapt from going from the States to Portugal and also adapt from going from Luxembourg to Portugal. I would say that it was very easy to adapt. I would give that an 8. At this point, I think adaptability is not as important as it was earlier in my career because I've been doing this 4 seasons now. And I'm used to the basic adaptations you got to make going over to Europe, going over to be a professional overseas. I'm used to that. I didn't have a whole lot to adapt to in terms of Portugal specifically. I just had to understand that it's not where I was in terms of Luxembourg. Adapting on the court in terms of how I live or play, adapting amongst the people. It's more warm and welcoming in terms of how you should interact with each other. It's not as classed off. Oh, the Luxembourg people, the Portuguese people, the other foreigners. The Portuguese people treat everybody the same, when they treat everybody pretty well. So I had to adapt in that form. Food, amazing food that I had for my team. Didn't really eat out much. Try to save money, you know. Language, my teammates spoke good English. Most of them, coaches spoke good English. Weather was amazing. I had to adapt to there. Like it was just a good, smooth transition in terms of living there. You know, so that's my rating of Portugal through these important categories that I felt the need to rate. And I hope you guys stick around for part 2 of the video where I'll rate the basketball side of playing in Portugal.